Welcome to Married to Movies. Industry insiders John Russell and Tracy Kring live and work happily in cinematrimony. They're sharing behind-the-scenes adventures of writing, producing, and appreciating films.
Good morning, babe.
Good morning, babe.
We're back.
We're back. Are we going to ignore the fact that we're wearing these hats?
Yeah.
It's just part of life.
Yeah.
Is this a new age of silliness?
No.
No?
It's getting in my mouth. My mom got us these hats.
Yes. And they are very, very warm.
They're so warm.
They're wonderful.
Lined and
Yes.
quilted and everything.
Yes.
We sent a picture of us in these hats to your family.
Yes.
And they said we look like that insurrectionist.
Yes.
That guy with the dog ear hair.
Yeah.
You think he got them from Temu?
No, he did not. No, his were like it was like a buffalo head thing. This is a different thing.
It was like this, but it had longer flaps.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Well, we're not.
I don't want to
going
be
for that.
associated with that guy. Okay.
Well, see, it depends though. Like why you're being an insurrectionist. If you were an insurrectionist now,
Look, there's a lot of
would you
reason
wanna
to be
be
an
one?
insurrectionist now.
exactly. So I'm like,
No, I literally think about the fact, okay, so where am I going to hide my trans brothers and sisters here in the house? Okay. I have full on Anne Frank fantasies now about what is going on in this country.
Okay, like Underground Railroad.
Yes,
vibes.
I'm full on the Underground Railroad.
Well, I don't think it's a good hiding place, but there is that cellar room under this floor.
Anybody who saw Inglourious Bastards know that is a terrible place.
I know.
You're dealing with someone. We're
not going to talk.
Yeah,
politics.
We are. We're talking.
No,
about
we're not.
Yes, we're talking about
we're
right
not
now.
going to talk
okay.
politics. No,
No,
we're not.
We
We're
have
not.
to talk
Because,
politics.
look, I'm going to tell you this. If you start, you're never going to stop.
I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop.
Look, I think everybody knows where we stand.
Yes.
Everybody knows we're sitting over here gagging on a spoon.
No, here's the thing.
We don't have to say anything.
It's a war on empathy.
Okay.
It's a war on empathy.
Did you hear that somewhere, or
this is something that I really feel. There is a survival of the fittest shit going on here, where people believe that if you can't take care of yourself, you should just die. They want to remove all of the social safety net. They want to put it all back, to the 1930s.
Well,
and
it's kind of like
they have the power to do it.
Kind of like a bad Charlie's Angels villain.
Charlie's Angels?
Like in the Charlie's Angels movies, how
okay,
bad Charlie's Angels villain, or a bad Bond villain, where he's like, I
think it's worse than it's a bad Charlie's Angels villain, because Charlie's Angels would be like the worst of the Bond villains, like the least.
That's what I meant.
The skinny man in Charlie's Angels, he was played by
Is this the movie?
Yeah, in the movie.
Oh, by that guy.
The guy from Back to the Future. Yes.
Crispin Glover?
Crispin Glover.
He was in that?
Yes.
Oh, I was thinking that was someone else.
Well, you're also talking about Sam Rockwell.
Yeah.
He was partnered up with Crispin Glover. Crispin Glover was like the henchman.
Oh, okay.
He was like the Jaws, like they always fought him.
Well, no, we're not going to get into Bond lore here.
How come all I'm hearing is all of the things we're not going to do?
Well, we're going
Why are you charged so negatively this season?
This whole season.
I
think it's.
I'm trying to lead us, down into a path of silliness and political.
I'm not
discussion.
Going there. No, that means there's going to be more singing songs, which I'm not going to do. There's going to be more politics, which I'm not going to do. You're going to be sitting here doing the podcast by yourself.
Oh. There's just going to be a poll with that hat on it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So this is season, what is this?
3.
Season 3.
And I'm not doing that crap where we have 30 episodes of a season.
I don't even understand what that is.
Last season we had 28 because I was like, fuck this.
And then it was like, how many before that?
30.
It was 30. So we're at 58 episodes.
Yeah.
So we really, okay. I mean, if you look at it the way the BBC does episodes, we are on season 11.
Yeah, it could be. Okay, so your birthday's coming up.
Mm-hmm.
You wanted to watch 4 movies because nothing is good out right now.
Well, okay.
At the theater.
No,
First,
that's not what happened.
I'm not gonna watch
That's not what happened.
I had a dream about that Red Hulk trailer last night.
What do you had a dream about the Red Hulk trailer?
Yeah, I had a dream about like the Green Hulk being like, I'm trying to help the Red Hulk, but he won't let me.
So Green Hulk was doing an intervention with Red Hulk.
Yeah, Red Hulk was just raging, and he was like, I can't get him to listen
Well,
to anything.
Red Hulk gets his power from his anger, and he gets hotter the more angry he gets.
Mm-hmm. I feel that.
Yeah, there you go.
I feel that way.
Right. But the Green Hulk is just like, hey, can't we all get a...
Yeah, I don't know why it was in my dream.
Right.
Rather unwelcome. So
it has Harrison Ford in it, man. Oh, God. I love Harrison Ford.
You know, money can do a lot of things.
Money can do a lot of things. That's true.
And it can make Harrison Ford be in the Crystal Skull too.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Yeah.
Every movie he's in isn't a hit. Anora.
Yes. Yeah.
The Apprentice.
Yes. So these are the 4 movies that we decided that we would rent.
Okay. Anora, Venom, The Apprentice.
Right. And Heretic. Right. But you decided that you were not interested in Heretic.
Well, I heard a review from a trusted source.
Whatever. Your reviews and your trusted sources are full of shit.
Well, we did watch Anora.
Yeah, we watched Anora.
You go, oh, this is just like Uncut Gems.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, yeah, it's basically Uncut Gems with like a little tiny romance story.
Well, so there was this movie I saw when I was a little kid, like very, very, very young. And I saw it at the theater for some reason.
Wow.
And it starred Don Knotts and Tim Conway. And it was set in the Old West. And it was called the Apple Dumpling Gang.
I saw that movie.
You did see that movie.
Okay, my elementary school was really cool.
Okay.
We watched like a film every month.
Oh, they would take you to a movie?
No, in the auditorium at school.
Oh, interesting.
We watched like a Love Bug and
Herbie the Love Bug,
Apple Dumpling Gang, and like we would watch one movie every month. It was lovely.
And the concept, for those who do not know, of the Apple Dumpling Gang is there was this kid whose father was extraordinarily rich, and these very bumbling, hapless criminals in the Old West kidnap the kid so that they can get the money from the father. But the kid is like Dennis the Menace. He's
he's a pain in the ass.
Total pain in the ass. Totally just mangles these guys.
It's like
Home Alone style. Yes, just mangles them. He's way smarter than they are, than Don Knotts and Tim Conway. Not a surprise. And basically, you know, the kid comes out and wins. And when I saw Nora, when it turns into this very jokey, very goofy, very silly middle section of the film, I was like, oh, it's like the Apple Dumpling Gang.
Yeah. Yeah.
With sex workers.
I did like how like badass she was.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, she wasn't going to just roll over and let these people, you know, tell her what to do.
No.
Until oddly at the very end, I feel like she could have gotten more money.
This is true.
But you said, well, that would weaken her character. And I'm like, yeah, but after you've signed those, right before you sign those divorce papers, you have the most
power.
Right. I don't think she could not have loved him at all.
That is the thing.
She wanted that life.
That's the thing about Sean Baker. He really has cornered the market on these films about really stupid people, you know? And he makes you empathize with them, but you still always in the back of your mind going, the things that you find important are stupid. Well, yeah, I mean, it's about classism. It's about poverty. But I just felt like this one was not as.
It's making people who are poor look stupid.
Well, I don't think you're making them look stupid. You're making them look, they've been sold a bill of goods that this is what is cool. This is what I want.
Yeah, but it's empty.
It is. Exactly. It is completely empty.
I don't know. I think I'm wondering if this has been explored now.
Well, yeah.
For this generation.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of like beauty. There's not a lot of film there.
Mm-hmm.
Like the art of film, the beauty that can be created with imagery.
He does a great job with chaos. And
that's why Uncut Gems was a really great example.
Shooting chaos and making chaos look, realistic on camera is not an easy thing to do. There were a couple of times that we had to do that in our film, Sky Valley, which we'll talk about. But
no, chaos is hard.
Chaos is very hard.
It's like there's action and then there's like chaos. It's the next level.
It's like everything on top of each other and everybody kind of has their own kind of world. And then all these worlds like explode, together.
Now, the Best Picture nomination. I mean, I'm really happy for Sean Baker. He's a person who's like, kind of come from very humble beginnings here.
Yeah, the iPhone movie, Tangerine.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really happy for him as, just as an artist, as a filmmaker. If you picked another year, I don't know how any of these would have gotten chosen unless the general crop of films that year was just poor.
Well, I don't know. I don't know about all of them.
And like thinking about,
I mean, like Wicked and Conclave and movies like that. Those are like big movies.
My niece, I fell asleep halfway through Conclave, so I had to watch it a couple times to get the whole thing. And then my niece was there and she watched Doubt right after that.
Mm-hmm.
And watching those kind of back to back, I was like, wow, Doubt's a superior film.
I don't know.
Totally.
I don't know. Doubt. Not a lot happens in Doubt. Doubt was a play. Doubt was like
went towards Dan Brown for me.
Oh,
Conclave was like, I'm going in a very cool series.
Oh man,
Dan Brown,
the Da Vinci Code. Oh no,
it was getting there.
Yeah, the twist at the end of Conclave is kind of like, oh, that's why they hate us. Okay,
everything's made up. Like everything is made up.
What do you mean?
We've invented all of this. It's all made up. Like that there would even be a pope. It's just a made up thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's just made up.
Yeah.
And it's like, in order for your life to have some sort of structure,
right,
and for you to create bins, cabinets in your mind, like you accept things that are just completely made up out of thin air.
Well,
like, hey, let's have a pope.
To go back to politics for a second. That is the theory right now by the current administration. All of this was made up, so why can't we make up something else?
Well, I mean, the thing is, it exists now.
Yeah,
it does exist, and it has been made to have a significance, just like the Pope has been made to have significance because enough people agreed to make it up. These movies, and you're just like, all of these are made up. And like, there's no physical form to them anymore, because everything streams.
Right.
And I don't know.
How do you feel? How do you feel about that? Because we just got back from New Mexico and we shot our biggest movie we've ever shot. I mean, that goes without saying. How do you feel about the fact that this movie it deserves a theatrical release, but it probably would never get one? Does that bother you? I hate to use the word deserve. I don't believe in deserve, but I could say that
I think it would look beautiful in a theater.
It's worthy of a theatrical release.
I think it would look beautiful in a theater, but there are very few things that, like I remember being a kid and going and seeing a movie.
Apple Dumpling Gang.
No, it was like a movie that I was interested in. I don't know. I feel like it might have been a Christian Slater movie. Like,
okay,
maybe it was Dream a Little Dream or something like that.
Oh, really? Ooh.
But I remember the adult movie that the adults were going to see was Great Balls of Fire.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh, that guy. But it had Winona Ryder in it, which was like a crossover for my generation.
True.
But I remember walking out of the theater and thinking like, oh, boring. Like, that's the adult movie. That movie would not get released now. Great Balls of Fire would not be in a theater.
Oh, no. 100%.
And probably the movie I went and saw wouldn't be in a theater.
No.
But like, I remember a lot of movies I saw in a theater. It creates a different experience.
I agree.
Because it's like not just sitting in a chair at home. It's like driving somewhere. It's like creating something. It creates something. Whereas just sitting and streaming something at home or even at the drive-in, like, we don't remember those.
But if you had watched that movie that we saw last night, The Damned, okay, would that have been a better experience in the theater?
Probably, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
A bigger screen, more darkness, and, like our Christmas tree was still on, so we had to turn that off.
No, I really enjoyed Nosferatu, but the movie last night, to me, had some similar vibes as Nosferatu. And
The Damned.
Yeah, The Damned. And it was what was cool about it was that you really never had kind of a handle on what was real and what was not, what was sort of in the mind of the people. It was kind of like the 3/4 of The Witch.
But that's what I'm talking about. It's like it's all in their mind.
Right.
Like whether it's really, I mean, like they're creating all of it, the paranoia, the everything.
Yeah.
And
it was the setting was incredible because it was
wherever they shot that.
Oh, wherever they shot that was just I was just afraid, I hope that's not a green screen.
I know that's that's something else that has happened. And maybe that throws me off is the lack of anything being real anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I watch things and I'm like, I just don't even know if it's real.
You're back to your existential crisis.
No, like, you'll be watching a clip. Like, okay, I saw this thing and I like people who clean things on TikToks and stuff. And there was this video of someone cleaning like barnacles off of a giant whale.
Right.
And those are all AI.
Yeah, that's AI.
Yeah, they're all AI.
Right.
And I was like watching it and I was like, oh, this is really sweet. This is AI.
Yeah, I was watching a Bill Withers concert. There was a clip of it and he was singing a song about his grandfather's gimp in the basement. And I was like, Bill Withers had a song about his grandfather's gimp in the basement?
It's AI.
No, it was AI.
It's just
But it sounded really good. It was like, and it kind of banged. I was like, grandfather's gimp, yeah,
But this is all creating more of a sensation that, like, who gives a fuck? It's like this weird nihilism.
Right.
It's like if everything's fake and everything I thought was real is fake,
right,
then everything's more fake. It's just all fake.
Babe, it's going to be okay.
It's really upsetting.
I understand,
and like,
babe.
While I really support, and I think it can be a really helpful and beautiful thing to, the more we incorporate technology into things, it's great. But at the same time, I'm just like, when you get a text message, and you're just like, I don't know, is this person even really saying this? Because now you can just hit something in your text. Just be like, oh, thanks for that.
Mm-hmm.
You can just hit it and you don't have to say anything. You don't have to respond.
But what difference does it make if they say thanks for that or if they typed thanks for that? I mean,
because you
it doesn't make any difference.
Say that, but see, you're agreeing to that when you hit that.
Yeah,
thanks for that.
But you have to make the decision but you have to make the decision to decide to do that. So that is really it is the thought that counts. This is the problem. You have always been a person who has not believed that the thought counted. I would get you a gift, but if that gift was not the right gift, you would just be like, what the fuck is this? And you do not believe that the thought counts.
No, I don't. the thought doesn't count. And back to the text message. If you didn't have that little button to say thanks for that, okay.
Right.
Maybe you wouldn't send anything at all.
Okay. And is that better?
I don't know. But maybe you would send something that you actually wrote that would be like, thanks. It's fine.
Thanks. It's fine. Yeah, that's what anybody wants to hear
Maybe
when they give a gift.
Maybe. Look,
it's fine.
I really believe that a lot of things are discovered through conversation. Like, you can learn a lot about a person. You can say things or think things that you never thought before.
I disagree. No, I'm just kidding. Of course that's true.
And when part of that conversation is being usurped by a third party, a third impartial, not even human party, I'm just like, it's filler. I don't know. I want to cry because it's
don't cry.
Futile.
Don't cry. Are you feeling?
I feel like we're turning into the Borg. In my opinion, WALL-E has always come the absolute closest to probably what our dystopian future will look like. Whenever they're all on that spaceship and they're all really big and they're all just floating around and going from gratified thing to gratified thing to gratified thing.
Right.
I really think WALL-E nailed it.
Right.
I think that's what we're headed to. And are we going to fight it?
Have you thought about the fact that we made a really big movie and you were one of the directors?
Yeah, I was.
Have you thought about that?
Yeah. Yeah.
So our movie Sky Valley, our sci-fi movie, we were thinking that instead of just random stories and that every single department, every single thing on this movie was kind of new for us. And if not new, there was something expansive that happened in regards to it. So I was thinking that we should just kind of go through the heroes of the film, the people that have made the film possible and tell stories about them and that type of thing. And I was thinking we should start with Anthony. What do you think? Anthony is somebody that I've known for 15 years. And
it keeps getting more and more and more. It's like 10, 11, 12, 13,
okay,
14.
I don't know.
I've known him for 50 years.
I don't know how long I've known Anthony, but he's always been involved in independent film, either as a producer or as a director or, in some capacity. And I have. And we have mutual friends. And we've just sort of stayed in contact with each other. Mostly online. I sent him the script. And you wait for somebody's response.
You do that with people back and forth, and you're usually, oh, this is cool. Do you want my thoughts?
Yeah, exactly. And I was kind of waiting for him to say, and he sent back an email. Let's do it.
Yeah, I'm in.
That was it.
I'm in. Let's do it.
I'm in. That was it. That was that was the as much as he said. And that from that point, it became like, okay, find the money.
Yeah.
Find the money. And there were some false starts and some, but eventually, through somebody that we'll talk about at a later date, we found the money. And one of the things Anthony was like, look, we have to do this in New Mexico because that's where I live. And this is, the perfect place for this movie.
Right.
It was always set in the desert, but New Mexico isn't really desert.
I told a friend that the mountains don't have any clothes on because there's really no trees on them.
True.
So you can see kind of topographically what the mountains look like. And they're really beautiful. And they look like dinosaurs that have laid down and died,
Whoa.
to me. So
you should be a writer.
Gorgeous. It was really beautiful. And every sunset was insane.
Every single one is just gorgeous.
Yeah, New Mexico is getting seriously undervalued in
Yes.
these 50 states.
Yes. The people are fantastic and it just turned out incredible. And the thing about Anthony is that, man, as a producer, he just works so hard.
I mean, I think he works too hard. I think it's bad for his health.
Mm-hmm.
He works so hard.
He'll be like, okay, fixing one of the cars. Then he has to go get the water. Then he has to arrange for, the crane to show up. Then he has to,
and there's like 65 people who have questions.
Everybody has questions. Everybody has problems.
You wake up after you slept about 4 hours and, you're making your coffee. And then here comes the phone call or the text. And
what's the latest?
Something is falling apart.
Something has fallen apart. Which
means
some
Anthony's already been dealing with it for like 30 minutes before he told us.
Right.
And then we have like an hour and a half to get it all figured out and put back together before we have to like have showered and left, And
he was always thinking about the crew. Like, are we going to need heaters? Are we going to need hot water so that we can make ramen soups? Are we going to need, let's get them, some special thing today, in the crafty. He was always thinking about that. Mm-hmm. I mean, he was.
I had an endless supply of Airheads.
You did. You brought some of the Airheads back with you. Because there were so many
still Airheads somewhere?
Yes, there are still Airheads.
Well, it's funny because Anthony said he had never had an Airhead, and he said, I've never had one, and now I've had 3.
There you go.
I get why you like the Airhead.
Get the Airhead thing.
Yeah.
You get the Airhead
Well, it's
thing.
Like pure energy shot from sugar.
Right.
You just got to have some energy, eat an Airhead. Anthony really thought out of the box on a lot of things. Mm-hmm. And the way that the crew's usually fed, typical, you just hire someone to cater it. It comes, it's lukewarm.
It is what it is. Yeah.
It tastes like it came from a hotel ballroom, whatever. Right. It's food. We had amazing food.
We had incredible food. It was like
every meal was incredible.
It was like a brisket sandwich, man. It was incredible.
And we had like some like New Mexico food, and there was like green chili stew, and it was not the chicken breast and mixed vegetable kind of.
Well, that was
food.
One of the things that was really important to him, is he wanted this experience to be a New Mexico experience.
Well, and
with the actors, with the crew, with the food, with the locations, this is an ode to New Mexico.
New Mexico better appreciate him.
Yes, New Mexico better appreciate him. Absolutely. He is amazing.
This film, fell apart enough times it could not have been held together without him.
No. Anthony is the heart of this thing. 100%. We got on a game show.
Yeah, you just were like, you're on a casting network and you saw this game show, and you were like, oh, that'd be fun. I think you applied just for yourself, but then it was a family show.
It was a family thing. It's like Family Feud. You answer these questions.
I just saw you on camera and it looks really ridiculous.
These
hats are
does that
very
surprise
tall.
you?
These hats are very tall.
Yes, they're very tall. So, it's called the Quiz with Balls.
Yeah.
You answer a question.
You answer a question, and the family members, 5 family members,
and you stand in front of your answer.
Stand in front of your answer, and if you got it wrong, you get this giant ball rolls down a hill and knocks you into the water. Pool.
This is another craziness that's happening.
It is very crazy, and I think maybe the family should try to get into more game shows.
I thought we were going to have like these new categories, like
categories.
Yeah, this is what we make. This is what This is what we're making. This is what we're thinking. And we never actually
we did all of those,
but we didn't establish them as categories.
Well, yeah.
People are like, oh, I really like when they're saying this is. The
you
watching
think people
category.
are watching this, first of all, and you think they're liking it.
Yeah,
Is that why we're doing this? No. I'm not doing it because people like it or care.
Okay.
No.
All right.
I'm doing it because it's just a thing I do. It's what I do.
Okay.
It's just like you sit down to write or you make a movie. You do it because that's just what you do.
We don't need all the attitude. Okay, about this. That's right.
Guess what?
I need you to calm down. I need you to take the knife out of your hands and just calm down.
I'm making this so it gets to be whatever I want.
Okay, that's great.
That's how I feel about it.
Well, that's how I feel about it too.
Happy birthday.
Well, thanks for remembering.
It's hard not to get romantic about movies. Thanks for listening to Married to Movies. Jon and Tracy will meet you for breakfast tomorrow.